you should. Maybe most of them are. But for the look at this on cover, I thought there was a high. I want to read this. Bye. I'm so excited for the video today. Hey guys. Welcome back to my channel. I just had a rush of excitement for this video because we're planning things and I love planning. I love being organised. It's a stress for me to do sometimes and it doesn't really work out sometimes, but I'm semi-organised today and hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Eilidh, and if you're not, then hello. It is good to see you again. We're gonna go through my 2025 TBR. There are I don't know how I have such a long list now. It's not even everything. It's the main bits, the main points, the ones that I'm anticipating most. We've got some new releases, we've got some fantasy, we've got some romance, we've got some dark romance, dark fantasy. We literally are covering all the stops that I absolutely love. And that isn't even, this list that I have isn't even everything. Like how? How is it not even everything? I didn't want this video to be like 10 hours long with going through every single one. So I tried to shorten down the list of just like my favorites, and then some new releases that I'm really excited for and when they're coming out. I'm not really like up to date with new releases. Well, I don't really check the internet for stuff like that. So I kind of just get what I can find with a few Google searches or Instagram, because I now follow a bunch of authors that I love and I love seeing their new stuff out. But anyway, we will go through the series that I want to complete this year, that I want to do, that I'm in the middle of, and it's stressing me out. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this video. Oh, actually, before we jump straight into this video, I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need some extra, what's that, what's the word? Motivation? Because this list is so long, guys. It started off so short and then it just got longer and longer. So we need to quickly do my morning ritual. We have to go downstairs though, because it's in the fridge currently. And I forgot to bring it up, so we're going downstairs. Nala has come to join us, but I got this lovely package. And I have yet to open it because I thought I would open it on camera, but I need scissors. We all know I'm the worst with procrastination, with lack of energy, focus, you know, the whole shebang. It just doesn't go well for me. Yeah, and I get burnt out a lot. And when I get burnt out, my reading stops. I get into slumps, and it's never good, and I can't get into this. Oh, that's one. But with mental health struggles, and in my experience with it, just having a habit, having a healthy routine that just keeps me going, keeps me focused, and I know that it's the same for every single day, and it keeps me sane, guys. It keeps me from becoming burnt out. And when you also then think about your sleep, your diet, your exercise, and your just stress management, just life becomes a little bit easier. So there's one thing that I have changed in my, you could say, morning ritual, and that is introducing Magic Mind. Whoa. Damn! I love this brand so much. Nala loves this. She's come up here. Come have a sip. Get up. So Magic Mind is a morning shot drink that helps your focus. It helps your sleep. It basically helps your mind. So it provides you with a calm energy, boosts your focus, plus mental clarity. It manages your stress, enhances your immunity, fights fatigue. It literally does everything. I love it. And look, it's so cute. It's so cute. So there's 3 in these ones. So you can take this as a shot drink in the morning as it is, or you can like put it with some oat milk, some ice, and make it into like a little, what's the word, like morning mocktail, I guess you could call it. It literally just helps with the little things and the stuff that you don't really think about that you need. I can't say that word, productivity shot. And you take one every morning. They've also got sleep shots as well that can help you get better sleep. So you can take both daily, one in the morning, one in the evening. And just overall, in my experience, it has been a game changer. So I'm gonna have one now before we start this video because I need my focus. I need that motivation. I need that mental clarity to get through this. So let's just quickly do this. Oh, and it doesn't even taste bad. It's one thing. You don't want to take it daily if it tastes awful. But no, it's delicious. So for your first time for the 24-hour pack focus sleep shots, you can get 45% off using my link, which will be down below in the description. Make sure to type it out properly or it just won't work. Yeah, as we're in January, let's do this January mental well-being challenge where we start 2025 building our mental resilience by improving sleep, because it always starts with sleep first. Now let's get back to the video. I've got my coffee as well, so I've still got my gnome up. This is my only Christmas decoration. Maybe I should put it away now, but he's so damn adorable. Okay, right. I think we're ready. I'm already feeling everything kick in because my energy levels have now gone through the roof, and I want to like move. I'm gonna talk so quickly now. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. It'll be alright. We'll be fine. Okay, so like I said before, I've split this video up into different categories. So we have romance, then we've got fantasy romantasy, dark romance, series is to complete, and then lastly new releases. So if there's certain ones that you don't really care about, you should, but it's okay if not, then you can skip to that part in the video. But I'm going to start off with some lovey-dovey romances. Now, I'm not a massive romance girl anymore. I'm not. I don't like the cozy rom-com stuff. I do if I'm looking for it, if I'm in the mood for that. But I love a little dark romance. I love like when tensions. I love a billionaire or like a mafia romance or something like that. But I do have a few lovey-dovey ones that I want to try, even if it's like from my favorite creators that have read it and really enjoyed it, who like the same stuff as me, or just that I've seen it absolutely everywhere and to the point where I now need to read it because I can't stop seeing it. The first one being the 7-year split. Is it split or slip? Oh, 7-year slip. I was right. What did I say? I don't know. Oh, also I forgot to say, I've got tropes as well, because most of these books, I don't really know what goes on in them because I don't read blurbs. You know that, I don't read them. But I did look up tropes for you guys if you were curious of what's in the books. So the 7-year slip is magical realism, time travel, food/travel, forced proximity, grief, and swoony and beautiful. I didn't originally know that it was time travel stuff with it, but it sounds kind of cool, and that's really all I know because I just keep seeing the cover everywhere and I think the cover's really cute, so I want to read it. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm 100% do that. Next, Not Another Love Song. Cover, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything like it before. I think she's playing the cello. They're like musicians. Because it's Grumpy X Sunshine, rivals to lovers, and found family. No idea what the found family thing is, but Grumpy X Sunshine and rivals to lovers, maybe they're musical rivals. Oh, I've never read anything like that before. But I do love a Grumpy X Sunshine. But which one's Grumpy? Is he grumpy or she grumpy? I'm leaning towards he's grumpy, because it's usually the man. But I do love a golden retriever man sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes. But it's cute. Anyway, this one I do actually have. Here we go. Now, I didn't realise this was part of a series for when I bought it, but I I realised it was the second one in the series. They are technically both standalone, so I could technically read it. But because I know it's now in a series, I just physically can't bring myself to doing it. And that is When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I love Sarah Adams. There's no third breakup thing, like, no. And there's no miscommunication either in her books, and I love that. It's when I need something happy. If I've gone through like trauma and like it's been too much, that's when Sarah Adams comes into the picture, and I've loved her books so far. So When in Rome is Small Town Opposites Attract, Grumpy Ex Sunshine, False Proximity, and then Practice Makes Perfect is Dual POV, Bad Boy Good Girl, Opposites Attract, Friends Who Pine, Fake Dating, Suburb Brunch Daddy. What does it mean by that? Oh, and then we've got the, oh no, you're wounded, screaming. And False Proximity. Again, my watch just had a little bit of a meltdown for a second. Cute. I actually am very excited to read this. I can't find When in Rome anywhere. Every single bookstore I go into, like I walk in, I'm like, I need to find When in Rome because I really want to read this one. Because I need to read it, and it's never there, so I might have to order it. But yeah, that's this series. I don't even know what this series is called. I want to read it so badly, guys, and you're all gonna tell me I can just read it whenever I want. But it's Goodreads, I tell you, it's Goodreads. It says part of a series. I don't know, so I'm just gonna leave it down there. Anyway, moving on. We've then got Addicted to You. Now this was everywhere when I first got into reading, and for some reason I stayed away from it. I thought I wasn't ready. I wasn't there yet. I think it's part of a bigger series, and at that time I was like, no, not gonna happen. But now I'm like, I've been reading for a few years now. I know what I like, and I think I should try Addicted to You. I've just put down the first book because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. The only trope I found for Addicted to You is found family, but I know it has like some sort of like actual addiction, and that the two characters in it, their love for each other becomes so powerful, like they're addicted to each other, which then overcomes their addiction, something like that. But found family, what does that even mean? Like, what did they find? That is my question. Oh, this is another one that I have. Oh, can I get it though? That is the question. That is the question. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of terrified to read this, but also really want to read it. If you had been with me. I feel like this book has just been sitting on my TBR for forever now. I originally got it when it was really hyped, and people were like sobbing over this book. And I decided that I wanted to sob too. So I bought it. No clue what it's about. We have tropes of enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, and coming of age. How could you be enemies to lovers and friends to lovers? Unless it goes enemies, friends to lovers. Possibly. And coming of age. One is really big. I don't understand why the book is so tall though. That's probably what's put me off. But I know the second one did come out in 2024, so I put it on. I was like, I need an excuse to read it. So if you have been with me. Oh, next, another one that I actually have and I didn't plan for. When I did plan for it, I just didn't get it out, and that is, I swear this one was on my last TBR, but Magnolia Parks. I want to read this book so badly. I think I've just been terrified, and also like, I think this series has been so loved by other people. Like, it's either love or hate. It's been mixed, but majority of the people have absolutely loved this, and I've kind of been like scared to go into it because one, I feel like I have to read each book like one after the other. I know I don't have to do that, but for some reason I have it in my head that I have to do that, so I've been putting off reading it. But Magnolia Parks is dysfunctional relationships and elite social class in London. I'm literally going to London when I'm going to London, Friday. I love London. I love London. So having a book based in London with like elite families and like just, it's probably so toxic. This book is probably full of toxicity and like probably dark things in it as well, but it just attracts me, and the cover is so pretty. It's so pretty. Do you know what? My dyslexia had a ball of a time when I first looked at this, because generally I felt like it looked like, you know, those children's, like those old children's books, like illustration like Winnie the Pooh or Peter Rabbit, like stuff like that, you know, the old illustrations. That's what I saw when I looked at this. Like that, I thought it was like, there are some things in it, but they're more realistic. When I first looked, oh, I didn't realise Big Ben was on that. But when I first looked at it, I was like, Oh yeah, it's like Peter Rabbit. It's not even close. But that's where my brain went. Anyway, I just put the first book on my TBR. I do intend to read the rest of the series this year, but I'm just hoping for one. Just one I want to complete. Then we have Consider Me, which is a He Falls First sports romance, friends and lover, former F-boy. Again, this is another one that I've seen absolutely everywhere, and now I have to read it. So I put it on. I think this is a completed series as well. I think, again, each one is a standalone. It's recommended to read them in order because of characters. But yeah, that I had to put a hockey romance on it. I had to. Those are the only lovey-dovey ones that I would read as a sports romance. I don't know why you would expect anything else from me. Honestly, there's nothing else that would go there. But yeah, that one. Cool. And that concludes of all of my romances that I want to read in the year. Cool. Alright, moving on. We're now moving on to fantasy / romantasy, which is my favourite. It's my favourite. I actually have two that are already on my like thing, but I'm done now before I forget. The first one we have is One Dark Window. I saw this one maybe like a couple years ago. No, it was definitely last year. Like a year ago, maybe? Something. Anyway, it came into the picture a while ago. And for some reason, I have yet to read it. I think it's another one of the things where I've hyped it up so much in my head that it's actually scary to pick up the book and do it. And this is a completed series. It is a duology, so there's only 2 books. So it's not like I can say that the series is really long, that's why I've been putting it off. No, it's genuinely because people say it's really good that I'm like, why would you say that? Anyway, it is a slow burn, royalty and intrigue. Why did I put that word on it? What's the opposite of royalty? Just like poverty? Intrigals. Intrigals? Intrigals? Intrigals. Is that a word? I don't know. This is enemies to reluctant allies, monsters trapped in MC head, undercover missions, found family. What is it with found families? What is it? Like, it's in every single book I've picked and I have no idea what it means by that. Does it generally mean where it's like they found like the town, like they found the place? Like old money? That's what I keep thinking. I'm pretty sure it is that. Gothic fantasy, unique magical system, and spice. There's spice in this book? I thought there wasn't much spice in this book. Maiden, monster, martyr. Yeah, I put One Dark Window on there. I then got one that I kept seeing everywhere again, and people like not talking about it, but like the cover kept popping up in places, and I'm like, what are you? It is A Fate Inked in Blood, which is Vikings and gods. I have not read something about Vikings, so this is why I put it on it, because it's Vikings. Actually, I think I put it on it before I knew it was Vikings, but it's even more on it now because there's Vikings. Touch Her and Die, which we love. I love that. It gets me so giddy. Slow Burn and Arranged Marriage. I'm so excited. We've then got Heartless as well, which is another one. I think it's a YA actually. And it's been floating around for a while now. I think it came out a while ago. But it's an untold story of the Queen of Hearts. So it has love, loss and destiny kind of all linked into it. The tropes I couldn't really find, but it's something along those lines of like a retelling. And that got me intrigued. It got me intrigued. So I put it on. We've then got Caraval as well, which I used to pronounce as Carnival, but there's no N in it. Is Carnival spelled with that? This is Caraval. Caraval, which people told me to read before I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I did that anyway. So I now have this one on it, which is another Touch Her You Die, He Falls First, high stakes, adventures, enemies to lovers, false proximity, magical world, and a slow burn. I think there's 3 books in this series. It is a completed series. I love the spine. I'm obsessed. And I think there's Jax in it as well. He's like, he pops up, but he's not the main person. So the Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber is my 5 stars. It's my love. It's the love of my life. So I'm really excited to read another one of her books as well. Starting with this one because everyone keeps raving about it, and I want my turn. I want my turn now, so I put it on. Then I've also got Gods and Monsters, another one I've been seeing floating around everywhere. The cover I'm obsessed with. I love black and white. You can probably, my ring used to just be white, let me put it like that, until I started introducing a little bit of colour. I say that, it's still pretty much white with bits of green and a bit of brown. But I love this colour. I think has it got red on it as well? I can't really remember. Anyway, it's a urban fantasy, morally grey MMC, slow burn, protective MMC, vampires, werewolves, witches, demons and more. Dual POV as well, which again, love. But also, I've come to realise that I don't need a dual POV to love a book. For example, Once Upon a Broken Heart isn't dual POV, it's all in Evangeline's point of view. And I loved Jack's. So I need to remember that. But I do love a dual POV. I love being in the man's head. It's like, perfect. So yeah, City of Gods and Monsters, I think I'm going to be obsessed with, honestly. It's the one that I'm most anticipated for. And then I've also got A Court of the Vampire Queen. Kate, however you say her name, Roberts. Oh, I love her so much. I've just finished her Dark Olympus series, and I need more. I need more. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure sort of thing. Easy reads, quick to get through, spicy, I know what I'm getting, and I enjoy it. I fly through it. But this one is half human, half vampire, forced marriage / marriage of convenience. Reading just kind of the back of it, because again, I didn't really get much. I didn't get like the tropes. Nobody did that for me, so I figured it out myself. So I think she had to marry to another kingdom to save her own kingdom. It's something like that. So forced marriage, marriage of convenience. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's kind of that. And forced proximity as well, because obviously if they are connecting as one, there's going to be some elements of forced proximity. That was a guess. Do not quote me on that. I haven't read the book. It's on my TBR. I guessed that bit. But that is my fantasy / romantasy, which I'm guessing they're all romantasy. I can't really do a romance. What am I talking about? I can't really do a fantasy without a romance, so technically it's a romantasy, but maybe I should. Like the Schwabs, is that his name? Like one of his, she? I don't know. Oh my god, I've just got really scared for a second. Did I say the wrong gender? One of their books, which I think is like a time travel one. I don't think that's got any romance in it. Anyway, it's not on my list, but possibly. Now, we're moving on to some dark romance. Now, this genre isn't for absolutely everybody. I understand that, but it is for me. I like a little bit of chaos in my books, not going to lie. It makes me giddy. I'm like, oh, bad man, but soft for her. So obviously, I have a really long list of all the dark romances I want to read. Okay. Most of these I'm hoping are on Kindle, because I don't tend to buy dark romance books, because the majority of the time they are self-published, which means that they're a little bit more expensive to buy, so I kind of just end up reading them on my Kindle. But I do want a dark romance shelf. I have to do it. My mother will hate me. Well, actually, she won't really know unless she watches this video. Mum, please skip this bit if you're gonna watch. Yeah. Anyway, I love a dark romance. It is another guilty pleasure of mine. It is something where it's like, it feels like it could be real, but it's not, and it's used as an escape for me. And also, like, I'm never gonna have a morally grey guy. That would be terrifying in real life. Stay in my books, please. Just, I like to read about it, that's it. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay, going on. Corrupt. I'm starting with Corrupt. Well, actually the whole of the Devil's Night series, because it's one of the ones where everyone loves it. I've heard so many things about it, but I'm a little bit terrified to go into it because, again, I've overhyped it in my brain. I did it to myself, I'm sorry. But it is bad boy, enemies to lovers, and it's got a revenge / bullying trope. I don't know how I feel about the bullying side of it. That makes me a little bit nervous. But I loved Carden, and he wasn't particularly nice to Jude in The Cruel Prince, so who knows. We then also got That Sick Love, but it's like sick love. That's how it's spelled. I was very confused when I first looked at this book, which is another enemies to lovers. There's, oh, I should have given a warning. Guys, I'm gonna say some things in this portion, so please go on with caution. There is blood play, there is false proximity, there is stalker MMC, there is revenge, there's religious elements, there is breath play, and there is age gap. Please, 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 if you're gonna read any dark romance, please read the trigger warnings. Just for my own sanity. For my own sake, if you're gonna come onto one of my videos and pick any of these books that I'm gonna list, please read the trigger warnings, please go in with caution, and don't try any of it at home. Thank you. I don't even know how to say this next book. No, not Sia. See, this is when I would FaceTime my sister and ask her what it says. But I'm stubborn and she keeps using that against me. So we're just gonna Google it. Oh, I don't even know how to like spell it. Here we go. It's not working. Guys, I don't know how to say it. Nocticadia. I've just looked up a YouTube video for it, so if that's wrong, I apologise, but Nocticadia, which is a student slash professor, age gap, forbidden romance, touch her and die, stronger and resilient. FMC, love that. Slow burn, spicy, angsty tension, mysterious island, gothic romance, dark academia. This book sounds so good. I don't think I've read a professor student romance before. I don't think that's happened for me. But again, it's one of the ones I keep seeing recommended to me on Kindle, so I'm gonna have to read it. We've then got, I'm so excited, Rena Kent, love her, loved Legacy of Gods. So I need to read the Royal Elite series, starting with The Cruel King, which is another bully romance. It's enemies to lovers, it's possessive MMC, college, and it's got sports as well. I think he's a footballer. I'm pretty sure it's based in the UK as well. But you're supposed to start with The Cruel King and work your way down like the universe, because the Legacy of Gods are the children of the characters in like the Royal Elite series, and then there's another series you go on to, and then they connect together in the Legacy of Gods. So I'm kind of doing it backwards, but I love the Legacy of Gods. It is another 5-star dark romance series for me, and I now want to read about their parents, who we saw in the Legacy of Gods, obviously, but yeah. The next one I've got is Skin of a Sinner, which is another dual POV, an unaliver, stalker slash kidnapping, protective MMC, and another touch of you die. I don't really know much about this book. It's just one that's popped up so much that I now recognise the cover, and so feel the need now to read it. I then also put Death's Obsession on it, which is Shadow Daddy, Death himself, paranormal, and stalker. I put this book on it because in a book the main guy was reading it. I can't remember what book it was. I read it, I can't remember. I think it was in was it Lights Out? No, I don't think it was. I genuinely can't remember. It wasn't me. No, I didn't read it this year. I definitely read it in 2024. It might have been Leather and Lark. Oh, I don't know. He was listening to the audiobook. Oh, I can't remember. I don't think it was Lights Out. It might have been Leather and Lark. Oh, this is gonna frustrate me now. No, it was definitely after that. Anyway, the guy was listening to the audiobook of Death's Obsession, which just instantly went onto my TBR. I was like, I have to read it. And it's a short like novella as well, so it's going to be quite an easy book to get through. The next one is The Lies Be Still. This was in my mid-year TBR that I wanted to read, but didn't get around to read just because I don't think I really cared enough to read this. It was just kind of on there for the sake of it. But actually seeing that the rest of the series is about different characters, I believe, and so each one you can read as a standalone, it made me want to read it more. I definitely enjoy when each book in a series is about a different couple, but like the Dark Olympus series, there's still the same themes, like there's still the same like politics that are going on, and the plot is still happening in each book. You're just following different characters, so I kind of like that. thing, and I have a feeling that's what The Lies We Steal is kind of gonna be like, but it is an enemies to lovers. It's another college bully murder mystery found family. What do you mean by found family? Then I've got Insellable. Is that how you pronounce it? Insellable?
Insatiable.
Insatiable. Why do they make words so hard for a dyslexic person? I will never understand. Insatiable, which is a forced proximity, dark secret, sociopath, ex-dancer, enemies to lovers, second chance, and then it's also forced proximity, forbidden romance, and a one bed. The last one in my dark romance TBR, I've got Sinners Anonymous, Sinners Anonymous, which is another one that ever since I got into dark romance reading, this book Sinners Anonymous has been on it forever. I've had it downloaded on my Kindle since I got my Kindle, and I still haven't read it. I think again it's another one where I'm so nervous to go into it because it's been one I've wanted to read for so long and then haven't been in the mood to read it, and that's so annoying. So this year I'm at least gonna read the first one in the series, which is a Forbidden Love, Age Gap, Enemies to Lovers, Steamy, Sunshine X Grumpy, Extreme Tension, and it is a mafia romance. I had to put at least like one mafia romance into it because who am I without a mafia romance? I'm sorry, it's just, yeah. But those are my dark romances that I want to read this year. Again, please, if you're going to read any of them, if you're going to read any dark romance, please read the trigger warnings before you enter the book. Just for my sake, please. Thank you. Oh well, I've got dogs barking in the background. This is always fun. We're now moving on to series that I want to complete. I should have actually got them out. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going to have the pictures of them. Oh, editor Eilidh is going to love that. I'll have to do it. I can't. No, I'm going to edit it. It's easier if I edit it. Okay. The first series that I want to complete, which I'm terrified to complete, but I'm going to go do anyway, is the Crescent City series by Sarah J Maas. I read the first one nearly 2 years ago. I do own the second one. I just haven't gone into the second one because I'm actually terrified. But it's now got to the point where I need to reread the first one because I can't really remember what happens. I remember like big points, but just not all the points. So that is the first series that I do want to complete. The next one is the Windy City series. I have read the first 3 books. In that we had Mile High, Right Move, Caught Up, I think Play Along is next, and I want to get through that series as well. They are all sports romance, and I have loved them all so far. Again, it's another one where it's like a different couple each time, but still good. The next one is Kings of Sin. I've been already doing a binge read. Oh my god. A binge read of this series. So I have already read the first 3. I've got the last one to go through, which is King of Sloth. Yeah, all billionaire romances. Again, they're all different couples in each of the books, which I love, and I need to read the last one. I need to finish that one. The next one is a dark romance series, which is the Never After series, which is by Emily McIntyre, and I love her so much. I've loved these books so much. They're all a different retelling of a popular fairy tale story. I have read the first 2 and I've got the rest of them. This is one of the series where you don't have to read in order if you don't want to, because they are generally different worlds, but I have been following the publishing timeline. Each one has come out. I know her new one, Hexed, came out at the end of last year, so I really want to read that. But yeah, loved them so far, so good. So I want to finish those this year. I've also got the Knockmount series as well by Lucy Score, so Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide From the Light, and Things We Left Behind is the one that I need to finish. This is then I believe it's a completed series. I think there's only those 3, so I need to finish the last one. I want to do that this year. I've also got Gods and Monsters on this. The first book was a 5-star for me. The second one was only 4 stars, but I've got the rest of the series that I need to get through and need to do. I already own the physical copy of the first one. I read the second one on Kindle, so I need to just read the rest of them. I just need to get through this one. This one is one where it's like you follow the same couple throughout and the plot develops through each book, but it's one that I will do, so I just need to binge read the next. I think I'm gonna read another one, I don't know. I've then also got this series Married to Magic, which again is, you don't have to read it in order because each book is with a completely different world. Well, it might be in the same world, but it's with a different like species. Like the first one was the Elf King. I think there's a vampire one, I think there's a siren one, there's a fae one. And I remember like going into the deal with the Elf King and being like, I did not plan to enjoy this book so much. So I want to read the rest of them and see how I feel about the rest of them. Because they might, again, just be like a guilty little pleasure series. And then lastly, I've got Priest. I can't remember what the series is called. It might just be Sinners. But I want to read the rest of this series. I read Priest, absolutely loved it. Didn't realise I was going to love it so much. So I need to read the rest of them. The next one I think is about his brother and a nun. Never read anything like that before. Never. Ever. Ever. So obviously I'm gonna read it. But those are my series that I really want to complete this year. Hopefully I can do that. But we're gonna be moving on to all the new releases. And honestly, my TBR just comes down to this. I love a new book. I do love a new book. But these are the ones that are either the next ones in a series or ones by my favourite authors that are coming out. These are not every single one of the new releases that are coming this year. I've only picked specific ones that I'm either in the middle of the series and are waiting for the next book, or they're standalones by authors I love. There are a few that are coming out with series that I want to read, but I haven't started yet, so I haven't put those on my TBR because I haven't even read the first book, so I don't know if I will like it. So I've only done the ones that I have started, or the authors that I love and they've got new standalones coming out. Hopefully I explained that right. Anyway, let's just jump straight into January. I realise I haven't put the dates down, but I've got the month, so that will have to do. But January, my most anticipated one, the only one I have in January, actually, Onox. No idea how to say that word. It puts me in a spiral every time. The third one in the Fourth of Wing series. I think I'm gonna cry. This one comes out in a couple of weeks and I don't think I'm mentally prepared for it. I didn't love Iron Flame. But I think I was just in a slump at the time when I read that book, so I might reread it. I don't think I will reread it, but I might. We never know. So yeah, that one's coming out at the end of January and I'm very, very, very excited. Next we've got Sublime, Scythe. Wow, I would have never guessed that. Scythe and Sparrow, which is the third book after Butcher and Blackbird. I think it's the trilogy, something like that. Anyway, it's the third one in the Butcher and Blackbird series. So you've got Butcher and Blackbird, then you've got Leather and Lark, and then you've got Scythe and Sparrow. This is such a tongue twister. Scythe and Sparrow. That's coming out in February. Also coming out in February is Ali Hazelwood's new book, Deep Love. No, not Deep Love, Deep End. It's her new adult romance. And I'm very, 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 very excited. I think is it sports romance? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, Deep End, very, very excited for. I then also got Wild Side, which is coming out in March. It's the third one after Wild Love. Can't remember what the series is called, but you've got Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and then Wild Side is coming out. And I'm very, very excited. I love Elsie Silver. I love her cowboy romances. They are mwah, top tier. So I'm very excited for Wild Side to come out. Then we've got Kiss the Villain, which is also coming out in March. It is a Legacy of Gods spin-off. It is a spin-off of it. It's not like you can read it as a standalone, or you can read the whole of the Legacy of God series and then read the spin-off Kiss the Villain, which is Gareth's book. Gareth, I think it's Gareth. I don't know how to say his name. I know how to spell it, but I'm not going to spell it because I'll probably get it wrong. but that is coming out also in March, and I love Rena Kent. I love her dark romances. They are top tier, amazing, love it. Oh, so excited for that. I wasn't expecting that. I went on to her Instagram page just to see if anything was coming out, and then I saw that she has 2 books coming out, the first one being Kiss the Villain. I then also got King of Envy, which is the 5th book in the Kings of Sin series. That is coming out in April. Then we've got Enchantra, which is in April as well. That is the 2nd book after Phantasma. Didn't love Phantasma, but still want to read Enchantra. Then my most anticipated read, we've got Fearless, which is the 3rd one after Paulus, which is also coming out in April. Again in April we have got Sweet Obsession, which is the 8th book in the Dark Olympus series. I'm so excited for that because that is Poseidon and Icarus's book, and guys, how the Dark Resilient left off, I need to know what happens. Then we've got Rewind It Back, which is coming out in May. That is the 5th book in the Windy City series. That is coming out. So excited. Then we have Rena Kent's new dark hockey romance series, which is Beautiful Venom, which is coming out in May. I then got Of Light and Freedom, which is the 2nd book after the Darkness and Ruination. I love that book. It's coming out in May. Then we have Caught Up, which is the 2nd book after Lights Out, which is a dark romance series, coming out in June. Then Bonds of Hercules, which is the 2nd book after The Blood of Hercules, coming out in October. And then in December we have Tender Cruelty, which is the 9th book in the Dark Olympus series, and that is about Zeus and Hera. I am so excited for their book. I had to quickly run through that because my camera is about to die. But those are all the books that I want to read in 2025. Let me know what books you want to read and what I should add on to my TBR because it's already so long. Also, don't forget Magic Mind. Honestly, game changer. I wouldn't have actually got through this video without them. It honestly has so many benefits to it. Yeah, just the focus and the clarity that I got. You probably saw it through this video. I can already see it kicking in. It is 100% refundable as well, and you have 100 days after you buy it too, so make sure to click the link down below to get 45% off your bundle. Just do it. That's all I'm going to say. Just do it. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Goodbye.